We're here. Hi, it's Coaching with Carol Lee. How are you guys doing today? Um, okay, first thing I want to say is I did tell you the other day, I forgot even what the video was about now, but the other day the last video I did anyways, I said that I would come back and talk about saving money on shopping and saving money in a bank account. But unfortunately, hold on, here we go. Santa Cup. It's kind of funny, oh God, this hair's driving me nuts. Um, just a short, funny thing. This past summer, one day, my son needed a ride to work. So I went and picked him up, and he gets in the car, and he's got a Christmas mug. And I looked at him, I said, like mother, like son. Picked up my cup. I had a Christmas cup too. So, anyways, yeah, crazy family, aren't we? Okay, so I'm not going to get into the saving money thing today, only because I think I've told you before, I belong to different Facebook groups. They have to do with things, divorce, abuse, stuff like that. And I've done a blog post about abuse, but what inspired this, I call it the 9 surefire signs that you are with an abuser, okay? Or that a person is an abuser. My hair, I tried to... if I could get a picture in this thing, I will show you. But this morning I was trying to procrastinate doing what I was supposed to do. So I decided to throw my hair in rollers. So, anyways, and it didn't really roll up as well as it should have. So, anyways, in these groups, I have found so much lately about women that are not just, hey, this is going on. He slammed me up against, and I'm going to say, for all intents and purposes, for this video, because I'm a woman, it's easier for me to say she was abused, he was the abuser, but do not, think it's just men. Believe me, I know several women, a couple narcissistic women, and they are awful. They can be worse than men. So, men, I hope you're watching this too. And so, like I said, I did my hair earlier, now it's driving me nuts. Okay, so first off, there's, was there 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of abuse that I came up with that I think are like really breaks it down pretty well. You have your physical abuse, which everybody knows about that. Even if you've been suckered into things and it's happened to you, you know physical abuse is not right. No one's got a right to hurt you physically. But there's also mental, emotional abuse, financial abuse, sexual abuse, and these things can cross lines. I mean, sexual abuse is really emotional abuse, mental abuse. Financial abuse is pretty much mental. I mean, I would have to say the physical, financial, and sexual definitely all have elements of mental and emotional in them. So, like I said, I came up with 9 different things that, surefire signs. There are more. Please, if you have anything to say, write it in the comments, okay? And don't forget to subscribe. So number one, and this is where we all get caught. Love bombing. This is when you meet somebody and within a couple of days or a week or something, they're proclaiming, I love you. You are my soulmate. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. Hey, can we move in together? Stuff like that. If anybody is doing that within the first maybe I love you after a couple months, but no, if they want to rush into moving in, getting married, stuff like that, that's a big, big, big red flag. Especially if they don't have a job, they don't have a house, they don't have a car, you can bet right then. What do they call those? Hobosexuals? A man that moves in with a woman because he doesn't have a job or something. I don't know. I can't remember the exact thing. There's a meme about it. So, but, so, anyways, love bombing is not good. I mean, I know there's instant attraction, stuff like that, but you really, really have to hold back and try to wait. Have you ever known somebody and you think you know them and everything, and then you get into a disagreement and holy crap, then the mask falls off, the shit hits the fan, right? And you're like, wow. So can you imagine, right away, I love you, I love you. They don't even know you. Come on. Oh, and just for the record, one more thing. I know I totally go off track all the time and forget things, but I'm going to be really, really, really truthful with you guys, okay? I haven't done this yet, even on my Facebook. Um, well, we'll just say very soon, in the month of October, is my birthday. I'm going to be 58. So when I tell you this kind of stuff, I want you to understand. I'm not trying to be an old prude. Believe me, I'm a pretty hip 58. In my mind, I'm like 20. But 99% of these, I've been through all these at least one time. The only thing that I could say which is good about me, or not good, but my mother used to warn me all the time. If a man ever hits you, slaps you, throws you against a wall, anything physical, you get out that minute. You get out, you get out, you get out. And I thank my mother every day for that. She had a cousin who was abused. I think she lost a baby, or almost lost a baby, through abuse. Was almost killed by her husband. So my mother was always super vigilant about that. In fact, one time, I guess, when her and my dad were just dating, he was goofing around, and he just went like this and punched her in the arm without even, I'm not putting any force into this. He was just goofing around like, hey, and she started crying. But one thing I don't remember her ever talking about is mental or emotional abuse or financial abuse or anything like that. So, so I did fall into that quite a bit. Um, I don't think I've ever been through sexual abuse that I remember, but, you know. So, the love bombing, like I said, is a no-no. Oh, speaking of sex, if they want to have sex like right from the get-go, that's not good. Women tend to equate sex, they get emotional. Men, it's just, I mean, not all men, but there was a thing I was reading today, or maybe I saw it on Facebook, about how guys, a lot of guys at least, say, it's not really a feeling thing for them. It's an urge, but they don't necessarily love every woman they make love to. So we tend to connect it with emotion and love, and he said, he loves me, and for young girls, well, even older girls, if he says, oh, if you loved me, you'd sleep with me. Well, you know what? If you love me, you'd wait, dude. Oops. Dude word. But seriously, come on, have a little respect for yourself. It's a proven fact, too. Some of these, if you're trying to attract a guy and you're dressing like a floozy, showing all kinds of boobs and your booty and that kind of stuff. Do you think a guy's going to take you seriously and want to marry you? Come on. No. No. The kind of girls a guy marries is much more secure than that. They have a life of their own. They're not needy. Stuff like that. So, but back to the sex, and I got to read my notes because I forgot what I was going to say about that. Oh, and if they want sex, but they don't want to commit to you. Oh, I just can't commit to a girlfriend right now. I'm too busy, stuff like that. If they're calling you for a booty call, and that's it, get off the booty roller coaster. Um, what's her name? Kelly King. She's the author of Girl Snap Out of It. That's her thing I think it's called the booty roller coaster. So, you got to remember, sex alone is not love. But sex can enhance love. It's so much better when you're really in love than just, do you ever come have sex with someone and You feel like crap afterwards? I mean, was that worth giving up your self-respect and making them think you're a floozy and, chances of getting pregnant? You don't really know the guy. He could go tell all his friends, hey, guess what? Yep, another notch in my, what do they call that, bedpost. So, do you want to be seen that way, or do you want to, Jesus, piece of hair is just driving me nuts. I mean, is that the way you want to be seen? As a slut? I mean, I hate to say it that way, but, that's how guys look at it when you're dressing all provocative and stuff. They're not going to say, hey, baby, let's get married. I'll wait for sex, but let's get married. No. They're going to be like, let's have sex and then bye. Okay, so anyways, cool. In the beginning with love bombing, how they kind of put you on a pedestal, right? Well, after usually within 3 months, guess what? They start criticizing everything they loved about you. All of a sudden, guess what, girl? You're being pushed off the pedestal. If you find them, they used to love that you did this, you acted like that, and all of a sudden now it's nitpick. Nothing you do is right. That's another huge red flag, okay? I mean, come on. It doesn't make any sense. They loved you for it 2 months ago, and no, they don't like you for it? Nah, they got a problem. Number 4, differences of opinion. You'll find out soon enough their character when you have a difference of opinion. If they start doing the little, narc tantrum is what I call it. Not that they're all narcissists, but, all narcissists are jerks and abusers. But not all abusers are narcissists, if that makes any sense. But, if they have a problem and think you're trying to argue with them, challenge them was one I heard all the time. Why are you challenging me? And half the time, I wasn't challenging. I totally agreed with what they said, but I was just saying, well, did you ever think about this part of it? And sometimes I didn't agree. But, when you can't have a difference of opinion without them flipping out, bye, dude, bye. Okay, when they start testing your boundaries. This could be, okay, say, you have a certain routine. You text every morning, you text every night, something like that, and all of a sudden, they go silent. At the normal times, and they don't get back with you for hours and hours and hours, or even overnight. Say if you text good night every night, love you, all that stuff, and all of a sudden, they're gone. Or they don't answer you, and you're like crying your eyeballs out, oh, he must hate me. It's a game. It's a game. They are testing you. Another thing they might do is during one of the arguments, they might punch a hole in the wall, or shove you, or break dishes, something. And they're testing you, okay? If they could do that, what else are they going to do? Come on, seriously. If they're going to break a dish, they'll probably break furniture. And if they're going to break furniture, you know how it goes. My nose is cold. Okay, the ultimate what the F maneuver, the silent treatment. That is probably the most hurtful, rotten thing someone can do to you. They will all of a sudden cut off communication, block you on everything. And I'm not talking no contact, like when that's another thing, when you're abused and you have to step away from somebody, that is different. But I'm talking about someone that you love that all of a sudden, and I went through this so many times with one guy, I don't even know, but, and even a few times he almost got me a little scared it might cross into physical, but it didn't. So like I said, I put up with it for a while. He ghosted me the first time. I think first time was later that day. You know, I heard from, well, you said this, you did that, or something. It's so stupid usually, you know, but by the time you get done, they're gaslighting you and making you believe you did wrong, and you say, I'm sorry, and you take them back. But then the next time they do it, if you allow them to do it more than once, guess what? It ends up being a couple days, then a couple months. And the last time I was the one that did the discard, and it was 3 years or 2.5 years before I heard from him, and I didn't want to hear from him anymore. So, I mean, he's an okay guy. He was just a little emotionally and mentally abusive, right? Yeah. Anyways, so but I find that usually they're doing that, doing the silent treatment, because they're testing your boundaries, see how far they can get. And sometimes it's because they want to go do something, or they have done something, and they don't want you to find out. You know, so if they set you off into, oh no, where is he? You know, oh, he's not talking to me. You'll totally, it won't even occur to you. I don't know. But that's what I strongly believe is sometimes like they just want to go out and party and have fun or whatever, and they're afraid you're going to say no, or can I go, or, you know, so. And they can't be alone and have fun and flirt and get drunk with their friends and do, if they do drugs, anything. Can't do it with you there. So they give you a little silent treatment for a few days, and by the time they get back with you, you're so happy to hear from them. No questions asked. Um, no, from now on, if I ever get into another relationship, one silent treatment, bye. That's it. Um, they try to alienate you from your family and friends. It could just be they start like having a fit every time you're with them, blah, blah, blah. Um, Convincing you that the family's against you guys, and, you know, stuff like that. They could move you out of state. You know, then you have no one right there to help you. I would be very wary, very, very wary of moving into another state with a guy that I do not absolutely know. I moved out of state across country from New York to Oregon with my first husband. Um, my lips are dry. We had been together 5.5 years. 5.5 years. And we didn't argue, we didn't fight. Um, you know, it was a pretty normal relationship, I think. We might have partied a little too much, we drank a lot. That was my bad youth. But 9 months after moving to Oregon, guess what? He found a girlfriend and left me. So, I mean, if you think they won't do it in a couple years or a couple months, guess what? Yeah, 5.5 years. No, he came back and forth, you know, tried to love me up. Then, no, he didn't want to be with me. You know, he did help me out financially, but I did have to move out of the apartment and go find, you know, a nice, what do we have, 2-bedroom apartment. Have to go find, lived in a hole in the wall, 1 bedroom with 2 kids. It sucked. But don't ever, I wouldn't rush into it. Let's just put it that way. If you've known him for a while, I mean, hey, you've been together a couple years, and I would hope you could trust him. But if he's already doing a bunch of these other signs, no. Okay. If you have no access to finances, you know, if they're holding on to all the money, the cards, they only give you so much to go shopping, or they do the shopping, you can't even touch the money. That's not normal. It's not normal if you are working and paying all the bills and stuff, and he's just home playing his video games, stuff like that. I call that you're paying and he's playing. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. That is a no-go. Um, Another thing about having the finance thing is I believe everybody, every woman and every man, should have their own bank account. Even if it's just a couple $100, something. And especially if you wonder if you're in the wrong kind of relationship, and you may have to, I mean, you don't know what could happen. My husband died. You know, I had whatever, we did have a, what do you call it, joint account, but there was a couple $100 and I just paid bills. I don't remember how much I had in my account. Not a lot, but guess what? I had a couple hundred or whatever more until things got straightened out because, you got to eat, you got to pay bills. If a guy skips out on you, if a guy dies, we were married less than a year. He died 3 days before our first anniversary. And we're procrastinators, and he worked all the time. I mean, it was very hard to find time to go and take out a life insurance policy. I mean, it really didn't take any effort, but we just never got to it. So guess what? Carol Lee had no money when Ron died. And let me tell you, when a guy throws you out of the house, when a guy beats you up and you got to run fast, stuff like that, yeah, you want money. Um, a lot of guys will try to take all your personal information, the birth certificates, all that. So if you do try to leave, guess what? You can't. Or you can, but you have to go get everything all over again to get help. So that's something else to kind of guard with your life. If you're just, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, be careful, please. Make sure you have access to finances. If you don't, I'm sorry, that is not a real relationship, okay? It just isn't. In the obvious, if they're physically hurting you, out right this minute. The first slap, the first pinch, the first anything. Because I'll tell you what, I always say, well, I don't always say it the exact same way, but let's say if they'll pinch you, they'll push you into a wall. If they'll push you into a wall, they'll slap you. If they're going to slap you and you keep on putting up with it and stay, guess what? Someday they're going to punch you. They're going to punch you and kick you. And if they're going to do that, what's to stop them from strangling you? Right? So if they'll go that far and you still haven't told, but you keep pissing them off, so they got to keep on beating you, it's your fault, right? Guess what? They could end up killing you. All it takes is you hitting the wall the wrong way and you're dead. You're dead. Think about yourself. And if you have kids, oh my freaking God. Do you want your kids to think it's normal for a man or a woman to beat you like this, to talk to you like this, to be throwing dinner dishes against a wall when they get mad? And I know so many women that are like, but, I'm going to stay till the kids are, 18 and, because they got to have a mother and a father. No, they don't. No, they don't. They are learning all the wrong stuff. And, the man's beating them, doing whatever. Your daughter is going to grow up and probably get abused by a man. She thinks it's normal. She's never seen normal. Get out. Get out. Your sons, they may grow up beating up women, treating women like shit, because that's what they saw. They'll end up treating you like crap, Mom, because they saw Dad doing it. Is that what you want? Is it what you want for your kids? Oh my God. I just can't believe how many people stay. It's crazy. And you ask kids that grew up with that, the moms that left, the kids, thank their mother for leaving or their father, whichever case. They thank the parent for leaving the abusive parent. I've heard of 14-year-old girls telling their mother's mom, he's using you. I don't know why you don't leave. Or sons, your kids see it. They're not like, I don't know. I can't stress it enough. Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to say? I need a drink. I need a real drink. No. Okay, so, but those are just a few things, And like I said, what inspired all this is some of these Facebook posts. One woman, especially, I'm like, oh my God, I wanted to rip my hair out. She was posting a couple times a few weeks ago. Oh, he, just all kinds of stuff he was doing. Financially abusing her, physically abusing her, calling her names, going out with his friends and not coming back for days, cheating on her. And she's like, is this normal? Right? Am I overreacting? And everybody's like, I mean, it's supposed to be a supportive website. I'm a coach, for God's sakes. I've got to be supportive, right? And be nice and cheerful. Oh my God. That was bad enough, okay? Everybody's like, honey, you need to get out. That's awful. You shouldn't be treated like that. Why do you put up with it? All that. So, last week, what'd she do? She posts again. And she's got a very unusual name. That's how I know it's the same person. She's like, I just got out of a relationship, with a narcissist like 2 months ago. Or, no, it wasn't even that long. Because it was only a couple weeks ago. She just got out of a relationship anyways. Guess what? She's in a new one. And guess what? He won't let her have a key to the house. He locks her in during the day. Wow. He has had sex with her, though she says, no, I don't want to. He is trying to get her pregnant, he told her. Just like all this stuff. And she's like, am I overreacting? Or, something like that. And I'm just like, all right, now I'm going to pull my hair out. And I did say something about, didn't you just complain about another guy a couple weeks ago? Didn't we all tell you, oh, that wasn't normal, and now you're, like, living with worse? Oh, my God. So, anyways, I just felt compelled I had to do this. I had to do this video. I did. Especially these women with kids. Oh, my God. And the worst thing is, like, all this, the sexual abuse stuff and all that. When you have sex with them, what if you get pregnant? You know how many women have been battling guys? I mean, I had one woman I saw a post from a woman the other day that spent like $75,000 on lawyers and court fees over the last 10 years fighting over childcare issues. And the way she described things, the father doesn't even really care about the best interests of the kid. He's trying to get back at mom. And guess what? The kid is suffering. So I would be very, very cautious with any new relationship, as far as moving in too quick, having sex too quick, sharing finances. Women have signed a loan in their name, so honey can get a new truck. We've been together 6 months. I signed on a loan for a new truck, only $43,000 or some stupid amount, right? And then all of a sudden, guess what? The guy takes off. And guess who's responsible for the loan? Ladies, we've got to get smart. We really do. Ladies and guys. I keep saying ladies, but it's guys too, because, oh my God, I've got a friend that awful, awful, awful crap with a lady he met. She is so wild. Oh my God. So anyways, we have all got to start being intentional and I know it's awful. You don't want to look at every person. Oh, he said, I don't know. There's things you might want to keep in mind. They're sort of maybe an orange flag. Not everybody's perfect, but there are definite signs. There are definite, surefire signs of an abuser. I want you to look at that, or watch this, or think about everything you watched. And then if you want to, you can go to a blog post I wrote. I'll put it in the comments. That explains a little bit more about gaslighting, the silent treatment, trauma bonding, a lot of good information. This is just like barely the icing on the cake, but they are some of the most dangerous signs. So please pay heed. And if you have had experience with this and want to share down in the comments, or if any other signs you know of, like I said, I did not name them all because I'd be here all day. So you guys help me out. Put it in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, okay? And I will put the link to the blog in the bottom. See you later. Bye.